Welcome to Paradise Month 2, Block 3. So today we are going to be doing actually 2 dark colored blocks, Block 3 and Block 6. So if you're not, in the same schedule as we are, don't worry about it. We are all going to catch up and we'll all end up at the same place in about 6 months, okay? So we're going to start today with flying geese. There are going to be 2 different sets of flying geese that you're making. You're going to start with a 5.5-inch square that you're going to cut on the diagonals. And then you're going to have 2 3 1/8-inch squares that you're going to cut in half. Okay, so that's going to get you your flying geese. 3 or 4? 4. 4 3 1/8-inch squares. Because you're making 4 flying geese. Okay, so we're going to start with that here. So when we do flying geese, we're going to take your triangle, drop it on the corner, sew up one side. You're going to press that out, okay, before lining up your other triangle with the corner, sewing up, and instead of pressing out, you're going to press it in. So again, you're going to have these seams chasing each other on the back of your flying goose. Okay? You're going to make 4 of fabric 7 and fabric number 10. You're going to make 4 with fabric number 12 and fabric number 7. From here, you're going to trim your flying geese, putting the picot on the point, the center of your ruler, lining up your ruler with your triangle, and you're going to trim. I like to take my other ruler at this point and turn, find my 4.5 by 2.5. Make sure everything pretty much lines up. This should be on the corner here. This point should be on the 1/4-inch line. And trim. And you're going to get flying geese. So you're going to make 4 of this color and 4 of this color. We are making arrows again. So you will be sewing the fabric 7s together. Okay? So we're making 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, we're going to be doing 4 patches for the corners. We're going to start with 3 1/4-inch squares. I have fabric number 11 and fabric number 12. So we're going dark. We're going to take our ruler, cut these in half to make half square triangles. You're going to be making 8 half square triangles. We have our half square triangle here. It's pressed open. I like to use my 2.5 by 2.5 inch. I'm going to line up the center line. It's a little bit hard to see because it's so dark on the diagonal. And I'm going to trim to 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So I'm going to have 8 half square triangles to make our 4 patches. And like usual, I like to lay out everything before I sew. So I'm going to put my fabric 12 in the corner. Is fabric 12? Yep. And I'm going to be making the fabric 12 all touch, and then fabric number 7 is going to come into the corner. Okay? So 12, 11, and I'm sorry, not 7, fabric 8. Fabric 8 in the corner. Okay? So you're going to be making 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the last component of our block this month is a square in a square unit. This is being done with fabric number 11 and fabric number 8. Okay, we start with 3 3/8 in the middle, and we have 3 1/4 inch squares that we're going to cut in half. We're going to line up those on the side, marking your centers, pressing that open, because I don't know where my other ones went. You're going to fold that in half, marking your centers, sewing these together, good 1/4 inch seam, pressing out to get your square in a square. You're going to use your square in a square ruler, lining up your horizontal and vertical, so those are right in the corners of your center square. Again, your center square is the accurate cutting of your center square is what's going to give you the correct size for this 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch square in a square unit. Everything else is oversized, so we're trimming down so that when we get to this point and we're putting our block together, I start with the center, and then we are going to do our flying geese units on the sides. 2, 3. So we are going to point to the center with our fabric 7s. So these arrows are pointing in, and we are turning our 4 patches with fabric number 8 towards the center. So this is our first dark square. Okay? So Paradise, block number 3, dark square, go team!